Well, hello. In case this task has been driving you as nuts as it has been driving me, I figured I'd drop you some tips. First, collect your tasks as soon as you can. Now, that's complete, I'll go into a few of the tips and tricks that I found for knocking it out. Medium range. Okay. I don't mind a medium range task. I think that will be a lot easier. Now, to find your shooting solution, you have a variety of different options. I like the flyers to be able to get to a point of higher ground. That way I can shoot down at the enemy and around their cover a little bit better. Now, sometimes I would start the game here with the Noricum Zenit Hawk. Now, that would give me the option of dive bombing these guys. Now, they don't do the super incredible damage, and you got to be really careful on how you aim them. You want to put your rounds in front of them, or where they're going to be. So it does take a little bit of a skill in order to learn how to work these. But once you get it, you got it, and it's a good thing to have. Now, on my Fafnir, I went with the Maltese and a ballista. I did happen to have a ballista from previous. The Maltese, as you can see, they're not very high level. But this way, once again, I'm in the air and I can shoot down, and I just watch my range. Now, here with the Gauss Hawk, I got that paired with mullets. Now, the Gauss weapons, they have the ability to shoot straight through a shield. Okay, it ignores defensive systems. So if they got a purple shield, not too much of a problem. You can go ahead and lay it on them. Now, as far as my modules, I just went straight aggressive with them. I went with all reactors and thermonuclear reactors, and that's for pretty much all of them. I started off. Now, I set my line up to normally go from left to right. Now, I went with my long-range weapons, which are the 1,000 meter, on the far left, figuring that they're going to be further from me at the beginning and work their way towards me. But these geckos, they're not really high damage weapons, so you might want to think otherwise if that's what you're leaning on. The Nashrams work pretty well. So do the trebuchets. And as you can see, I've got a Tempest and a Kang D. Now those are 800. Now, if you're limited on resources and funds, the Butch is a good way to go. You can equip that with the Zenits and Kang D for a very economical build for accomplishing this task. Now, as you recall, I just mentioned my Gauss Hawk. Now the Gauss, it does an accumulation thing where it needs to build up the full charge. But how do you know you're on target without letting it loose? That's where a good drone comes in. Now for that, I chose the Wasp drone. And this chip right here, the imitating rifle chip. Now it has a range of 800. So when there was a good shooting solution, when I was going to hit, the drone would actually shift to the front and take the lead, letting me know that if I pulled my trigger, I was gonna make a shot with that firing. So that was one way I could conserve my ammo and make sure that my shots were going to count. Now, this one will not fire unless you're firing. So, as I said, the drone would just shift forward and take that forward position. I could have switched and put in an eye as well. Or I believe, is it the Defender that has the shooter? No, it's not the Defender. There is a basic build. See, the eye has a AC controller slot. It's not the Fly. Maybe I don't have it. Let's check the store. The Sharpshooter. The Sharpshooter also has the AC control socket. The Good Guy has a shooting socket. The Eye, the Wasp, and the very new drone inside of Operations, the D operation at the far right, is the Einherz. This is also a shooter drone. You can see it comes with an AC type right here. It comes with a shield and 2 defensive, so it's kind of like the shooting version of a Nebula. It's one I'm definitely working towards getting. I would definitely like to have that in my collection, that's for certain. So I'm going to have to figure out how to make that payment here in 10 days. Well, I've got a little bit of rearranging to do with my hangar and my drones to switch over to the medium range task. Taking advantage of these triple gold deals is a very smart thing to do. Just know that whatever you choose to do is going to take some time and possibly money. Now, you see these top 2 ones. In fact, the top 3 you see right here are make a purchase. So I know those are off my list, but I will go through them and see what I might find to be a possibility for my options. Like Guns of Glory, I might do the missions, even though there is a buy task in there. I'm not too worried about that because that's not a whole bunch of gold, and that's not going to stop me from getting to the higher levels. But you got to read the details. This must be completed within 30 days. So some of these are full-time tasks, and understand that when you take on these tasks. But a lot of them are well worth taking on, so it might behoove you to take advantage of those deals, even if it is a small little rinky-dink quiz or a survey. That may take only 20 seconds. I've had apps that if you engage the app for 15 seconds, you'll get 400 or 500 in gold. So some of them, it's worth looking at if that's all you're doing. But that will help you build up your drone collection as well as other items. I know gold is necessary to go into the MK2, and it's a very handy resource, especially when you're trying to recoup some of these boosters. A lot of the YouTubers will activate these purely with gold. Now, for that damage task, I would also recommend using this increased weapon damage. It gives it an additional 5%. And I'm not sure if you checked my pilots, but most of my pilots were Adrian. I got a Manny in there as well. Let's see. There's another Adrian. There's a Manny. He's got the shoot through the shield option on his special. And another Adrian. So each of those Adrians, I got an additional 5% boost. So knowing what you're building for and what you're after, I wasn't really too worried about the other pilot features. I just needed the additional damage to knock out that damage task. But now that I'm clear of it, I figured I'd give you a little bit of help and option. And hopefully you're not like the one guy I ran across last night. I got reported even though they self-destructed and quit the game. But I got reported. I thought that was kind of hilarious. But I was actually working on the task. He apparently didn't care. So don't just report somebody for nothing. You know, report the people who need to be reported, but don't just report because you're going to take a loss. Okay, this game isn't about winning and losing. Even on a losing round, you can still come ahead. Now this task has cost me drastically. In my league level alone, I lost over a league. In fact, it looks like I lost almost 2 leagues easily. Because I was at Master 3, and now I've got to get all the way back up. And as you can see, my win rate is not going great right now. It really did take a big hit. But as you see, my average damage is still up there. I still got 500,000 on my average damage. And that was running purely with distance weapons. So always use what you can to the best advantage. Put your eye on the goal and achieve your goals, but don't let them deter you from bigger goals. I hope this has been a help. As I've said, you know, I didn't really have the best of equipment to run this task, but now I'll be able to swap out and go for this medium task, and I'm looking much forward to it. Well, as I say, be good or be good at it. Take care of yourself and take care of others. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this information has been helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share it with people that you might find it useful. But for now, I've got a little bit of hangar work to do before the time change, and it's coming here at 6:30. No, well, it's coming up on 6 now, but I've got an hour until the videos are reset, and I'd like to get some games in. Y'all take care now. Till next time. Later, guys. Peace.